So Sky have announced a deal with Top Rank and Boxer, spelled BOXXER. And, they seem defiant. Is defiant the right word? They're outwardly optimistic about, where they're going to be in boxing in the coming months and years. They're very happy about this deal with Top Rank. And you know what? It's good that they're staying in the game, that they're still putting some boxing content on. Adam Smith, of course, is passionate about the sport, and he wants to get the maximum number of big fights, and he wants to continue to be at the center, really, of boxing in the UK. So, he's going to look on the bright side. He's going to view the glass as half full. But anybody who's watched these interviews with Adam Smith and with Eddie Hearn, anyone who's perceptive enough will have detected some subtle but not imperceptible passive aggressiveness from both Adam Smith and Eddie Hearn towards each other. To me, Adam Smith slyly, subtly comes across as a bit of a jilted lover. Like he is a bit angry, a bit upset, maybe feels a bit slighted by Eddie Hearn. The fact that Sky stuck with Hearn and had him on that exclusive deal where other promoters couldn't do stuff on Sky, with the exception of, there was a couple of little exceptions here and there, but it was mostly Eddie Hearn. And that's an unprecedented situation. Well, let me not say it's unprecedented, but it's an unusual situation. And very advantageous for Eddie, because Sky was really the only platform of that size for boxing in the UK for many years. And Eddie Hearn had near exclusivity on that platform. If Frank Warren had been allowed to put shows on that platform as well as Eddie Hearn, Hearn would have had a lot more competition, right? Because say what you want to say about Frank Warren, and I say plenty about him, he's right when he says that Sky gave Hearn an advantage over him and other promoters. It definitely did. I think Eddie Hearn's a more talented promoter than Frank Warren in this day and age, okay? But be that as it may, the gap between their two businesses wouldn't have been so big if Frank Warren had been allowed to put shows on Sky as well as Eddie Hearn, if Eddie Hearn didn't have that near exclusive deal. So maybe Adam Smith feels slighted by the fact that we gave you all this, Eddie, and you still walked away from us for more money. That's the sense I get from Adam Smith, that he's a bit like a jilted lover with the subtle passive-aggressive comments that he's made. You have to be a perceptive person and be able to read body language and read what people are not saying as well as what they are saying, if you catch my drift. And you'll see from the, various interviews, but certainly these couple, that Eddie Hearn and Adam Smith are throwing subliminal barbs at each other. And I find it entertaining, because at the end of the day, boxing for me is entertainment. That's all it is. I respect the fighters who go in the ring, put their lives on the line for my entertainment, but it's still just entertainment. I don't want to see nobody seriously hurt. I certainly don't want to see nobody die. But with that, and obviously I want to see people get paid fair, because it's dangerous, right? But ultimately, I don't look at fighters as my heroes. I don't look at them as my leaders and people who represent me and putting their posters up on the wall and wanting their autographs and selfies with them. I don't see fighters like that. It's just entertainment for me. And the same goes with people like Adam Smith, Eddie Hearn, the suits in boxing. If they can get in on the action in terms of entertainment, the more the merrier. I like that too. I like Eddie Hearn having beef with other promoters, as long as they're getting the fights on. If it's a beef that results in, for example, like with Deontay Wilder, them turning down perfectly good offers from DAZN and Eddie Hearn, I don't like that. But when it comes to, beef between promoters where they're still putting fights on against each other's fighters where necessary, and where public demand calls for it, then it's all good. And when it comes to situations like this, we have got a little, I want to say, we can't really call it a beef? It's tension. It's a little ill will, a little ill feeling, a little bitterness from Adam Smith towards Eddie Hearn. That's what I can detect. Despite what they're saying publicly. Oh, it's all very amicable and we love them. Yeah. People always say that when you're talking about corporate individuals, or for the most part, this is what they usually say. It's what they're trained to say. But reading between the lines, there's some bitterness there. I can see it. And for Adam Smith, he's also fighting for survival in one sense, because Sky are not going to be the force, at least not in the short term in boxing, that they were just a few weeks ago before Eddie Hearn decided to leave them. So he's going to be under a lot more pressure. He might be faced with the prospect of what? Pay cuts? You know, I don't know how his salary is determined, but you don't have to be a genius to realize that the less money his department is bringing in, perhaps the less money he'll end up being paid in the long term. Obviously, he's got a contract. I don't know how long his contract runs for. I don't know how the pay system at Sky works exactly. But people do get pay cuts. People get fired, of course. These things happen in the corporate world. And so Adam Smith must at least be thinking about these things now that Eddie Hearn has left. And again, he's a big boxing fan. He won't be happy about the fact that a lot of the fighters that Eddie Hearn has will no longer be on Sky. He will no longer be able to be a part of their journey. You know? So, yeah, I definitely detect it. Maybe some of you guys do as well. And Eddie Hearn is acting like the guy who, you know, broke off a relationship and he's moving on to somebody better. And he has that kind of arrogance and how can I just almost aloofness in the way he's been talking about Sky. I find it all very funny. At the end of the day, Adam Smith, I'm sure, is on a very, very good wage. I'm sure he's probably set for life himself. You know, I don't think he's going to have any financial issues there. Even if he does get a pay cut, right? I'm sure he's pretty much set up. He's going to be fine. Eddie Hearn, of course, born with a silver spoon in his mouth. And that's why I can enjoy the tension that there may be between these two guys. Because, you know, nobody's going to get hurt. It's all a bit of petty back and forth for, well, unintentionally for our entertainment. So let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. And as far as Sky's deal with top-ranking boxer, it's good. You know, we need somebody to be showing the top-ranked fights from over in the States. And if it's not going to be BT, then why not Sky? It's kind of a bit puzzling that BT didn't decide to do that deal, because obviously Tyson Fury is with BT and there is some association between, you know, ESPN and BT because of that. So, you know, a little bit puzzling that BT didn't do it. Maybe that shows there's a lack of commitment on BT's behalf with regards to boxing long term. The fact they didn't want to pick up that deal. Sky obviously did pick it up. It's all good. So if you do want to see the top ranked shows, you can still go there to see it. But will it be a pay-per-view situation? You know, with regards to the UK shows, apparently they're opening the door to multiple promoters now after all this time. And, you know, Boxer, you're going to see maybe the Sauerlands and perhaps others. Maybe even Frank Warren, you never know, with old Frankie boy. So I guess that's good. But for the meantime, in terms of shows that actually mean anything, it's just going to be top-ranked stuff on Sky. And hey, Top Rank do some good shows and they do put on some good fights here and there. So there's going to be no issue with that. Interestingly, top-ranked shows in America, well, the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder trilogy fight is a top-ranked show in America. Are Sky going to be looking to try and get that? The BT have exclusivity with regards to Tyson Fury's UK, well, that'll be an American fight, but rights to his fights over in the States? I suspect they don't. Therefore, maybe Sky associating themselves with Top Rank could get in there with Tyson Fury. Maybe that's their plan, to try and lure Tyson Fury, maybe even Frank Warren, from BT back over to Sky. Let bygones be bygones. Come on, Frank, let's get Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, here over on Sky. I wouldn't put it past them. Right? They're businessmen at the end of the day. So let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below.